it's hard to see, but this whole crate contains a lot of items that were involved in my childhood as well as my brother's childhood. Hey everybody, Mr. Eric Jenkins coming at you with a brand new Mail Monday video, except no mail. Interesting. As you can see from the first clip, I showed this very strange looking gray box. And I pretty much stated, it's part of my brother and I's childhood. Or, some stuff in this box are part of my brother and I's childhood. Which is true. So, without further, this is going to be a weirdly emotional video to make. Not in, a bad way, but, there's items in this box that I haven't seen in over 20 years. And before I get into the story of this box, if you like game collecting, card opening videos, if you like the content that I'm making, please leave a like and subscribe for future content as I upload a mail video every Monday or a collection haul video every Monday. Wednesdays are typically Pokemon card videos, and Fridays have been card opening videos for baseball or other sports cards. I'm going to be trying to upload as much as possible in the future as the nights are getting a little bit longer. It's getting darker outside. I'm not able to do as much outside, so I'm, reverting back to inside. So content creation has been something that's been helping me mentally. I've been having a lot of fun doing this, and I like sharing stuff with you guys. So please, if you like this content, please consider subscribing and leaving a comment down below with what you think of the video, what you want to see me do next. Please always be kind to one another in the comments. That's the only thing that I do ask. And a pre-warning, I am also going to be editing this video a little bit differently. No goofy memes or anything like that. I'm keeping this as wholesome as possible as I'm staring literally at this big crate of awesome stuff. And I will be kind of cutting back and forth between Facecam Eric and the table. As I'm shooting this, I'm figuring out in my head how I want to actually set this up, which is not the best way to do any sort of production, but who cares? It's my content, I can create it how I would want to, or how I want it to be created, and I'm just trying to be as blunt as possible. So I'm going to try and, shoot back to the table. Maybe I'll leave it in the corner down over here, or this, this side over here. Have close-ups of the images and stuff like that, because either that or I'll cut back and forth. I just don't want it to, I want you guys to see some of the stuff, and there is a lot of stuff in this video, so hold on, we are in for a bumpy ride. And also I'm going to be using just letters for people's names, not for just for their sake. It's just just to be polite about it, because there are some stuff in here that I think are pretty collectible. I don't want people contacting them that know them locally and saying hey, Eric bought all that stuff from you and he gypped you off. It's no, that's not really what it's all about. So for lack of a better term, I'm going to be calling the family friend, Mrs. S, and her son, C. So here is the story of this box. As you know, I still live close to my hometown, and my parents have been close with this family for a very long time. My brother and C used to be very good friends in elementary school, going into middle school, and then in high school they kind of, had different friend groups and they kind of parted ways. C, however, has stayed in his hometown as well as my brother, but they still don't talk anymore. And my parents still talked with Mrs. S and the rest of the family. And Mrs. S came to me one day when I was visiting my folks. She came over to visit, and she said, well, C has been going through his childhood room and cleaning out a bunch of stuff. Is there, and she mentioned the Sega. Now, I know what the Sega is, and I'm like, if you want to get rid of it, let me know. I'll buy it off of you. And my mom also mentioned to her in passing, like, oh, Eric's been collecting Pokemon cards, and see if C has any of his remaining. So, the last time that they came over, or that Mrs. S came over to visit my parents, she had this crate of stuff. And she says, I brought this for you. Sell it and, you know, cut me in on some of the profits or buy it outright or whatever. And I, you know, was in the kitchen and I said, oh, what's in the box? I hadn't even, you know, really, you know, just go through the box yet. And she goes, oh, well, the Sega's in the box and there's a bunch of other random stuff. So immediately I just ran home. I live very, very close to my parents. It's literally across the street. So I ran home, grabbed as much cash as I had. I had roughly $80. And that's all I had for cash on me at the time. And I knew she was leaving to go back to Florida. And I just said, here's $80. Like, this is what I have. And she looked flabbergasted. She's like, are you sure? Are you positive? Like, yes, that's all I have. And I started going through the crate. Now, I knew that the Sega in question was worth the $80, and I did not know what else was in the crate until I opened it. And she goes, well, if, you know, like, you know, you don't have to give me any money for it. You can sell some of the stuff. And I started going through the crate, and I started, like, looking deeper, and I started to get a little emotional. Because some of these things were used by my brother and I when we'd go visit them. And I remember playing with them back in the day. And I told her, I'm like, I'm not going to be selling like, there's some stuff I will sell. I'm going to be completely honest. There's stuff that I will be selling, or that I will be kind of, you know, keeping but selling my copy of. So it's not really selling this product. But I said, this is very nostalgic for me. So a lot of this I'm going to be holding on to. And I said, but if I do sell anything, I will, you know, give you some money when you come back to Connecticut. So that's why I wanted to, you know, kind of preface saying, like, you know, I don't want people to be like, oh, you guys got any more, you know, Sega games at the house? Like, you know, Eric paid this much for them, like, I'll pay you double. No. And I know that's not the case for people that are going to be watching this video, but, you know, I just like to, you know, be frank about stuff. But let's get into this video. I'm going to save this for last, this thing right on top. But the first thing that we're going to get into is this baggie right here. There are actually two of these baggies. These are Burger King Value Meal Bonus Pokeballs. And this one has the Poliwhirl card inside. I used to have, I think, the Poliwhirl one. They were getting rid of those. They had like a whole bunch of them at the Burger King that we'd go to. And the thing was, we went, like, with this family, we played soccer with them, or my brother and C played soccer together. So we'd go to, like, oh, like, we're going to go to Burger King after the game. So, like a bunch of the families would go. So I remember them buying these. So, like, that's how crazy this stuff is. And this is just, like, the other stuff. So here's the second one. We've got a Togepi. These, if I remember correctly, were, like, being, like, sold a lot cheaper than the... they were, like, the last stock. Like, so I remember I got a Poliwhirl as well. I wanted, like, a Pikachu one, but they didn't have any more. They only had Poliwhirls left. So they're kind of just like, oh, you guys bought an extra value meal? Here you go. You can have for $1 instead of the $2.99, $3.99, or whatever they cost. So that's really cool. There was a copy of Final Fantasy 13. I think that was just kind of thrown in there. I don't remember them having a PlayStation, so, you know, not really going to show much info on Final Fantasy 13, but it's Final Fantasy 13. So, this was cool. I'm going to move these Pokeballs out of the way, actually. I don't have a lot of room in this office. I have to... It's a big tote as I drop the Togepi on the ground. This is cool. This is a copy of WWF No Mercy. cool. It's a wrestling game that's been going up in price, but this game cartridge, this particular cartridge, we bought this for him. We bought this for C on one of his birthdays because we would rent this game so much that Movie Gallery was like, why don't you just buy the game? Just buy the game. We rented it like every other weekend when my brother and C would have a sleepover, and we all made creator wrestlers. We transfer them over to a memory card, and so this, I have to check it because I just got this crate like a day ago. This might have old creator wrestlers on it. So the first thing I did was I called my brother and I said, hey, you wouldn't believe me if I told you this. So I sent him a video. So my brother and I are actually going to check this cartridge out and see if this actually has our old creator wrestlers on it, which will be really, really cool if it does. So this is really cool. So I actually I know I'm keeping this. I threw my WWF No Mercy on eBay. So, a couple bucks there. Next thing is, this was cool. We have a boxed teal Game Boy Color. One cool thing I do like about this is it has the R-Zone sticker still on it. This Game Boy Color, we'd all go out for like big tournaments, and like Game Boys were hot and popping back then. So, and it's got the original baggie, in very clean condition. I actually had a teal Game Boy myself growing up until my brother destroyed it. And it looks like it is possibly complete. Yep, all the booklets and manuals are in there. So this is complete. So this is going right on the shelf because this, I probably played this Game Boy growing up during a soccer game. Oh, my Game Boy, I forgot my Game Boy at home, and then, C brought his, I'll see if it's in the car, and I probably played this. So this is very, very cool. Plus it's boxed and it's in very good shape. It's got a little ding on the front, but, I've always liked this Game Boy Color in particular. So that's the teal Game Boy Color. To go along with that, we have a Game Boy Pocket AC adapter. Didn't know this was a thing until, I started collecting games. Would have been nice if I actually had one of these, because I had an outlet near my bed. Very, very cool. It's complete in the box. Like I said, didn't know this was a thing, but the box is in very good shape. Probably purchased with the Game Boy down the line. And we have a carrying case full of Game Boy games. I'm actually going to cut over to the table to go over all of those, because there's a lot of them in here. But some of the marquee titles, I have to check the batteries on these. Pokemon Blue. We have a Pokemon Yellow, which was one of my first games ever played. Donkey Kong Land. Pokemon Red. A lot of these are kind of just random, games. Those are the main marquee ones. We have a Pokemon Pinball. Focus, please. Thank you. And there was one other title or two other titles that were pretty cool. Original Game Boy Color, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Now, to anybody that that's cool. Yeah, it's a cool little pickup. I doubt the batteries work on these Pokemon games, but we traded Pokemon back and forth. My brother C and I traded Pokemon back and forth. So I gotta check the batteries on these. I'm 99% sure they are dead, but it's cool. I literally used to play these exact Pokemon games. And of course, one of the jokes between the families was that they kept any paperwork that they had for it. That's why, everything has been complete. So we've got 1, 2, 3 Pokemon trainer manuals for all 3 games. And I'm just going to fan this out. We have the manuals for the games inside. Very, very cool. Pokemon Pinball. There's a, you know, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So all of the games that are in here have their manuals, which is very, very cool. The Pokemon ones I actually have boxes for, and I think I'm actually missing I'm missing 2 manuals, which is, you know, very, very cool. So let's go into the big boy, or one of the 2 big boys, I should say. Actually, let me knock this out. So I don't know what this is, but I'm very excited because I've never seen it. I'm going to try it out. It's a Coleco Quiz Whiz. It's a little kind of computer like game thing. Never heard of it before. I thought it was kind of cool. And then we also have a Tiger Quiz Whiz, which opens up. It's got the manual, and I'm pretty sure it just asks you questions and you hit the buttons, or I don't know. I have to do a little bit more research. As I said, I just got this box within the past day or 2. And I've been wanting to make a video so bad, but it's been hectic at, you know, trying to get back and do all these like chores and stuff like that. Helping my parents out. So I'm stoked to see what this actually is, what this does. Tiger and Coleco is a cool name, or like a good brand, you know, Coleco and Tiger Quiz Whiz. So we'll get into we're getting down to the nitty gritty, but this was the first thing that I ran home. I knew that was in the crate. A Sega Saturn. Now, growing up, not many people had a Sega Saturn. You either had a Super Nintendo, you had a PlayStation 1, or you got a Nintendo 64 afterwards. I believe this family was one of the very few that I knew that had a Sega Saturn. So, I always made a joke when I started collecting video games. I said, hey, if you ever, you know, let me know if you still have that Sega Saturn kicking around. No, I'd buy it off you. Because it was something that I didn't have for my collection. I never see them out in the wild. I think at work, we've maybe had 3 or 4 since I started working there. And I just never thought to pick one up. So, Sega Saturn, this we actually played a decent amount when we'd go have like, we would go and like have like little gatherings at their house. The 3 of us would kind of just chill and play Sega Saturn. So this is cool. Very, very clean. And then only 1 game remains in the lot, I guess. Some of the games were in a box and the box got destroyed. But we have Sonic R. Long box, pretty cool. You know, the case is a little dinged up. But this is what's really cool. This company no longer exists, or this store no longer exists. But there is a video game trading post from Manchester, Connecticut. Focus up a little bit. There we go. Still on the item as well as on the ring of the disc. It says video game trading post. If the reflection won't mess it up. Anyway, that is a store that we used to go to back in the 90s to get games, and it just brought back this huge wave of nostalgia. You just, you know, holding this, you know, game and this console. Sonic R, not the best game, but it's a Sonic game. It's iconic for not the best reasons, but it's a Sega Saturn game, and I'm blessed to, you know, have it in my collection now. And then there's a tote in here with the components and the controllers. There's also 2 Nintendo 64 controllers. Nothing super special there. I will actually show them right over here on this screen right now. Flip over to the table. These are the 3 controllers that I said I'd show. We have an atomic purple, as well as a gray, and 1 regular Sega Dreamcast, or Sega Saturn controller, So those were the Nintendo 64 controllers and the Sega Saturn controllers. Nothing super crazy there. So now we're on to the last item. It is a binder full of base, fossil, and jungle Pokemon cards. There is a story behind this binder as well. I'm also going to flip back over to the table to show you guys this binder. So right off the bat, we have a Beckett Pokemon collection from December 99. Absolutely crazy. I love looking at these old Beckett guides because it's just preposterous to see what cards we're going for back then. But we also have a play mat, which is very cool. This one is from 98. So that's very cool. So I'm going to throw these back in here so they don't get crushed anymore. Put a stop to counterfeits is what the bottom says. But let's get into this binder. Now, the one thing I'm not the biggest fan of, and this is just being nitpicky, is that C, when he categorized his cards, he did what all the kids did, and I don't blame him. He shoved a bunch of cards behind each slot. So if you've got Charmanders, he's got like 10 Charmanders back here. But that's the one I'm gonna go through, and I'm gonna go through every card, see what's there. But I just wanted to show you guys this set. So this was C's childhood Pokemon card binder. I'm actually going to back up a little bit because I didn't really think this through. There's a candle, Crisp Fall Night. If you guys like good smells, that's a Yankee Candle product right there. On the left-hand side, we do have a rulebook and some more playmats. But we're going to go through this. We have a Charmander, Rattata, Venonat, Krabby, Mankey, Nidoran Female, Jiggly, Oddish, Machop. So a lot of commons going through. I'm just going to start to pan through these a little bit quickly because these are the common cards. Going into some uncommons from Fossil on the other page and Jungle. This just hits me with nostalgia because we, as a friend group, were buying cards from the same card shops. We were trading with each other, so these cards probably passed through my hand at one point. We have a first edition, is that non-holographic Haunter? Very cool. We got a Gengar up top, Unlimited. Very, very cool cards. We got a Mew promo card. Here's a couple more rares. We've got I'm trying to figure out how this is categorized because it's not alphabetical. We got an Aerodactyl, a Kabutops, a Golem, Electrode, both Electrodes, Raichu, Unhollow, non-hollow, Magneton, Hitmonlee. We see a non-holographic Jolteon and Flareon Unlimited. Pinsir. So I'm sure there are some big bad boy Dragonite non-hollow there. Victory Bell, Muck. Just going into some dark on the next page. I'm sure there are some, first edition cards sprinkled in these stacks as well. So I'm going to go through them a little bit more thoroughly. But these cards are in pretty solid condition for the most part. I don't think they've left this binder in 15, 18 years. Alright, so this page right here, we're going to go back to this page. And I'm going to tell you why. I know it looked really good, but we're going to go back to it. We have some Japanese hollows. Never really, oops, sorry, y'all. Never really got into the Japanese cards. Got some gym leaders. Now we got the trainers. And the last stacks are mainly, energies. What this is cool, a old Abracadabra Alakazam lenticular And we have some coins, Vileplume and Aerodactyl coins from the decks, as well as some unused stickers and a Toys R Us pamphlet. Very, very cool. But we are going to go to this last page. So, here's where the drama is going to come. We have a Vileplume holographic in the top left, a Venomoth, a Vaporeon, Machamp, Wiggly, Kangaskhan, Gyarados, Snorlax, and there's only 8 cards there. That one's behind it. These cards were actually my old cards. How do I know that? Well, two tells. I actually had this order on purpose because this is the order that I pulled these cards growing up. I remember I traded somebody, I gave them like an Electabuzz non-holographic and a handful of random, like, uncommon cards for this Machamp. I pulled this Wigglytuff, this was the first card that I ever pulled. And then I traded for the Vaporeon and the Venomoth. But these were like the two big, my holographics. These used to be my cards. Now, I am 85% sure that my brother had taken my binder, all full Pokemon cards, and either traded them to him to C or C bought them off of him. Because anytime that I would ask, like, hey, C, have you seen my Pokemon cards? You kind of like smile and say like, nope. And I'd be like, can I look at your binder? Nope. Don't want you going through it. But I am like 90% sure, 90 to 95% sure that these are my old cards. At least the Vileplume. Because this was the first card that I ever pulled from a jungle pack back in 1999 after getting a good report card in first grade. But if they aren't my cards, it's okay. It's still very, very cool because I had seen these cards. I've handled these cards in the past. These are going to go to a very special home. I'm probably going to keep them in these binders, but I'm going to take the doubles out and disperse them into other binders. But this is very, very cool. I am so glad that they held on to these and they kept them in as good a condition as they were. Because I literally came home and I was speechless. Like, I called my brother and was like, dude, you won't believe what I'm holding in my hand right now. This is just very, very cool. And I'm glad you guys stuck around and watched the video to, to show you this. If I was just a random collector, I would have said, $80 is a great steal for all this. I'll sell the binder for $100 and, Saturn for $100. I'm like, if I had more money, I would have paid her more money, and I told her if I sell anything, I'll give her more money in the future. But I'm not going to be selling a whole lot of these. These mean way too much to me. So that's it. I really appreciate you sticking through this whole video. If you like what you see, please subscribe for future content. I upload Mondays and Wednesdays permanently, as well as Fridays, sometimes depending on the schedule. This Wednesday, I do have a Hidden Fates unboxing coming at you guys, as well as a Friday video where I'm going to be going through Topps Chrome, and I might be uploading a couple other videos in the next couple weeks as well, so stay tuned for those as well. Thank you for watching this video. This is Mr. Eric Jenkins, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.